Buongiorno. Here we are. We're in Siena now. I don't know if you can see. This is actually the Il Campo, Piazza del Campo. There's a big seat there. Go up there is the Campanile, but behind us is the. If I do a little sort of a try and do a 360, you can see this track here. Now, next week on the 2nd of July is the Palio horse race, which goes right the way around this whole area. You can see the steps and that, or sort of the bleachers as they call them in America, for people to come and watch it next week. And if I turn right the way around, you can see all the restaurants and the buildings that are up here, and it goes right around the square, the piazza here, and it slopes, as you can see right down there, slopes right down to the centre. And this race has been going on since the Middle Ages, and it happens twice a year. I must admit, I knew that it happened in the summer, but I didn't know we were going to stumble upon it, and the preparations are happening because this isn't always here. Excuse me, the dirt track here, they put this down, the earth track, and the horses, when they go around, they do 3 circuits, and it lasts about 90 seconds. And we've learnt quite a lot this afternoon since we've been here. We got here this morning. We came in by train, which was nice, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. About an hour and a half out of Florence. Nice drive.
Yeah.
Right through the countryside, the Tuscany countryside.
Yeah, so which is what we wanted to see. We wanted to do it in the most scenic way of doing it. We could have come by bus, but we decided to do it that way. And we arrived here, as I said, not knowing that this was all being readied for this. This has pretty much been shut off because tomorrow they're actually doing one of the sort of, I suppose, preliminary trials for the race itself.
Elimination.
Yes, definitely. Because how it works is there are 17, I think they call them contrada, which are like the districts of the city around here. Each of them have their own teams, each of them have their own horse, which they then enter within the race. But only 10 horses and jockeys riding bareback actually are able to take part in the race. And as I say, there's 2. There's one next week on the 2nd of July, there's another one in August, always the same days every year. And this has been going on for a number of years. Yes, we know apparently it's quite controversial because the nature of this course, it slopes, it goes round in very tight bends, and at the bottom of you probably can't see it because of the sun, unfortunately, but the bottom down there they put these big sort of cushions in. But I should imagine that when that happens it must be one hell of a spectacle. Yeah,
which is extraordinary because unless you're very rich, so you get to sit on one of these
these
which
seats
are
here,
about 350
euros for the race, which lasts for 90
race.
seconds.
Everyone else goes in the
middle. Yes, and they have to be there before, obviously, well before the race starts, and they have to be there, and they're there for about 4 hours because there are processions, as you can imagine, all the 10 or even maybe the 17 districts. The people come in with all their horses. They've all got separate colours, and we've been walking around the city this afternoon actually, and it's a very small city, and all the lampposts in different areas are different colours, representing all the different districts. We were told earlier when we left Florence, Eduardo? Roberto,
yes.
Completely wrong. Who owned the Airbnb that we were staying in. He said where we were going, and he said, "Oh, they really take this seriously." I didn't really think about it until you come here, and there's already a sense of it, and you get that sort of
isn't there?
Definitely a sense of anticipation. But what do you think of Siena? Because you've not been here before. You've been to Florence.
No, well, neither of us have been, have
No.
we? And I don't think the pictures do it justice. Really, you always see pictures of the Campanile behind us.
Yeah.
You see pictures of the arena, the piazza, whatever you want to call it here. What you don't really appreciate is the age of the buildings. It's medieval.
The city was established in the sort of 1200s, before Florence really, and they had battles between here and Florence and Pisa as well.
Were it not for the plague, this would have been the major player in the region.
Yes,
not Florence.
Because we just had to sort of getting our bearings today. Because it is very hot here today. Actually, although it's possibly cooler here than it is in Florence, it actually feels hotter, doesn't it? And I'm not really sure why that is. But we went up and we went to another Duomo, their cathedral here, and we walked around the corner and saw that, and we both went, "Wow, unbelievable, wasn't it?"
And that was the unfinished version. It was meant to be, I don't know, 4 times as big as it was.
Yeah.
But they stopped. The plague came along.
1348, I think the plague was.
Building. The centre of interest moved to Florence, so they stopped anything. They didn't invest any money into Siena. So consequently, for us coming along now, what we're left with is the
city as it was back in the 1300s.
So I have to say, I'm kind of speechless.
Yes.
an extraordinary place.
Yeah.
And everyone said it would be lovely, but it's mind-blowing.
Oh no, it's amazing. And all the little alleyways, and I mean, yes, there are quite a few tourists here, as you can imagine. I imagine people are starting to come here for next week. But there's all these little narrow alleyways and all these, and you stumble around corners. Of course, we're just in our element. We're wondering, oh, quick, let's go down here and let's go down this little alleyway or this little road and see what we find next. So yeah, a lovely city. Tomorrow, well, I'm not sure, but we're probably I think we're going to try and go up the Campanile tomorrow. But one thing, the trials we mentioned earlier on, one of the trials we found out from Claudia, who owns the Airbnb that we're staying in here, literally 500 metres from El Campo here. At 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, they got one of the trials for the horses, where they bring, I think they said there were 50 horses altogether. They knocked them down to the 10. So we're hoping that we're going to get up and hopefully come down and watch some of that just to get some sort of flavour of it and to see what it's like, because it's an experience.
Got to be done.
It's got to be done.
So we'll tell you all about it tomorrow.
Yes. So that's our day today, which has been pretty good.
It's been amazing.
Yes. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
Ciao.